So this is a story all about how we made Saturday AM say amen to sayings. Cause we inspired by Shonen Jump. We keep it AM till the day ends with showmanship. No, we're not playing. I'm just saying something. You know, low key, I should probably start every video I do with a freestyle. Bottom line, we started a digital magazine inspired by the Shonen Jump format with the goal of being more global, exploring new ideas. Most aspiring creators who are fans of shonen manga, myself included, dream of one day being published by Shueisha Shonen Jump. But now, while I'd still love to work with them in some capacity, I'd rather much try to become a Shonen Jump competitor instead, become a publisher myself, and thus we have Saturday AM. We publish comics/manga with a Japanese influence in style and production, but for the most part, we try to make it more global beyond just Japanese. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we want to go beyond that. Even though our magazines are digital, we do have a small publishing line called Saturday AM Tanks, where we publish paperbacks like tankobons, and you can think of them like a season of a TV show where they'll come together and have a DVD, so when there is enough content in the magazines, they see a series telling a story with several issues. Once there's enough content, we compile it into physical books. We're still relatively new, we're nowhere in size compared to the likes of a Shonen Jump, but in fact, we're still huge fans of Shonen Jump, and all its major titles have inspired me in some way. Specifically, you have the Naruto's, One Piece, One Punch Man, Rurouni Kenshin was big back in the day for me, Dragon Ball. Even though I haven't seen that much of it, it was still, and that's how influential it is. Bleach, I know for a fact, was one of the reasons I decided, okay, yep, I'm gonna do it. My Hero Academia, which is like one of the newer stuff, so the list goes on. And it's not just Jump, even some series that aren't published in Jump, or series that aren't necessarily shonen, where you have series like Fairy Tail, which is shonen, but like, it's not in Jump, it's not published in Jump, Attack on Titan, and so on. For me, I've always loved the cinematic nature and style of Japanese comics, and it shows in my work Apple Black or BACASSI, which you'll be able to find. There'll be links in the description. So this video is in no way a knock to the likes of Shonen Jump. We are big fans. Even though the manga wasn't as global and it was more centered around Japanese things and just being Japanese, it was still very big and enjoyable and interesting. A lot of titles were big inspirations for me, like I've already said. Growing up in Nigeria, I did not have that much access to it, but I was still able to fall in love with that style of storytelling. So the young dream was always to go to Japan and make comics, but there were a couple reasons why publishing in Japan no longer excites me the way it used to. For example, here in the West, we're more in touch with the biggest entertainment market in the world. That's here in the US, Hollywood, and all that stuff. Also, with Saturday AM, all the creators own their own IP, their own intellectual property, and their own content. So no suit can just come cancel my content like it's some failing TV show. While I love Japanese culture and its history, and like a big fan of all, obviously when it comes to anime and manga, big fan of all the titles that tie into ninja stuff. Like, I'm a big action fan, so ninja stuff, samurai stuff, that's big in me, big for me and all that. I also love other aspects of the Japanese culture, but I don't want to go live and work there, at least not for long. I actually like it here, and also there is a language barrier, and there's a lot of paperwork, red tape type of stuff you'd have to deal with that I just don't want to. The launch of Saturday AM offered me much more in the sense that I had more control over how my products were going to be consumed, and it was a chance for me to level up my entrepreneurial skills, because just for example, it's much more lucrative to be part of a successful company from the start up and have a successful comic versus just having a successful comic. And believe it or not, this route is probably much harder than trying to be published by an already established company. And I think the biggest reason I feel was, deep down, I knew that that wasn't the goal. I quickly realized that going to Japan and being published in Japan wasn't what I was truly after. It would have been nice, but it's not what I was truly after. I want to tell fun, meaningful, engaging stories to a lot of people, affecting their lives for the better, period. I think many can relate to that. I love to draw, and I'm kind of good at it, I believe, but it almost doesn't even matter to me if I draw it or not. I just want to tell stories however I can. That's why I also make music, I write, and I also create comics. Hence the rapping at the start of the video. I'm a firm believer of doing what you want, at least trying, even if it means failing at first. And after learning from your failures, you get back up and you continue striving towards your goals till satisfaction. Last year, I thought I could kind of rap, and I want to drop a rap album. Boom! Dropped it. Researched all the things I needed to do, and I did it. By the way, if interested, just be warned, the music I make is kind of not safe for the workplace kind of music. Just so you know, in this rap, just so you know. Let's just say I dropped a lot of bombs. Point is, the same applies to comics. The comic industry has always been a tough nut to crack. But thanks to the internet, you can build a following, put yourself out there, join communities, learn how to want to grow, be consistent, and you be on the right track. With Saturday AM, we want to be the grade A brand for the digital age. We provide a new outlet, new option for creators, care for our creators in a much more direct sense, and help them develop their properties to higher statuses, becoming champions of being global and making content that is much more representative of the world we live in today versus just being very Japanese like mainstream shonen manga. Or just mainstream manga in general. Again, it's not a knock, it's just different goals, different creators, different audience we're trying to cater to, and all that kind of stuff. We feel that there are loads of cultures, ideas, countries, places, different kinds of people, sizes, ethnicities, sexual orientations, religions, and so on that are not explored nearly as much in the mainstream. They write what they know, so it's up to us to write what we know. Maybe if there was a comic that took place in Nigeria or was involved in Nigeria in some kind of capacity, it'll be much more popular with, you guessed it, Nigerians. And maybe I'd be, that younger Nigerian boy, young me from the past would be more into anime and manga if something like that existed. This is also good business aside from just being moral because, media, comics included, help shape the way we see the world. And I believe, the same way Japanese draw from influence from the world around them, we must do the same. The world is one big melting pot, and so should the characters be as well. Even our creators kind of represent that as well. We have creators from Hungary, Nigeria, the Philippines, Greece, the US, obviously China, Japan, Canada, the list goes on. We started in late 2013, and now we're well on our way to our 100th issue with over 15 titles on our roster, so we mean business. Published several graphic novels, my book included. Apple Black Volume 1 and Volume 2 have been published already, and it's done very well. We've launched new magazines like Saturday PM, where my other title, BACASSI, runs, and Saturday PM is just a more mature, more experimental version of Saturday AM. You can think of it as a seinen title to Saturday AM's shonen titles. With our continued hustle, we hope to one day rival Jump. Imagine our very own Jump here in the West, built to build more opportunities for talent, not just in the US, but all over the world, welcoming new ideas and molding it for a Western audience, specifically. So that's the gist. I really hope you guys support us. Currently, we have a Kickstarter running live right now. Details to everything you could possibly need will be linked in the description below. The funds go to launching a new book line, starting with 3 books designed to get us into retail, get us into bookstores. So for those who have been trying to get Apple Black in your bookstores, are like, why is it not in Barnes & Noble? This is kind of like an effort to make that happen. The 3 books in question are Hammer, Saigami, and Apple Black. You can see me. Hopefully this video has been visually pleasing for you, but I'm drawing the 3 main leads of the respective series. And you have Hammer, the character Stud, who can turn parts of his body into, you guessed it, a hammer. You got the little fire starter Ayumi from Saigami, and obviously you have Sano from Apple Black. This Kickstarter is actually, in a way, remastering Apple Black Volume 1, specifically for bookstores. But obviously it'll be very different from the original Apple Black Volume 1 that you guys have already purchased. Thank you, by the way. This will offer a new experience from the original Volume 1. Here, the book will be printed in color, and the pages that were supposed to be in color, they will be printed in color as originally intended, and then I'll add more colored pages to it. So I'm actually going to take some of the black and white grayscale pages and color them for the book specifically. I'm going to do a bunch of those. There will be a lot of exclusive illustrations within the book, a new cover art, better paper quality, better print quality, concept art exclusive in there, new creator notes, a brand new chapter that is not filler. In fact, it adds to the story and enhances the whole volume overall. We have some really cool rewards, exclusive prizes, illustrations that are exclusive, wallpapers that are exclusive, offers for commissions, promotion, voiceover work for some projects that we have going on. Please check it out. Donate, support, share. Any help is greatly appreciated, and links to everything you could possibly need will be in the description. Finally, you can now read the first 6 chapters of Apple Black. Yes, I said 6. Usually it's 4, but now it's 6. You heard me. Please, United States, to smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Follow me on social media. All the necessary links will be in the description again. Thanks for watching. This is White Manga, and I'm out.